Creatives, Joseph Sakura here. Welcome back to our lockdown series. This is number 14, the last in our lockdown series. It's been absolutely fantastic putting these together. So I want to end with a bang, and I want to give you something super useful, something to just throw at you that you can take away, and as always, spend hours and hours and hours mining it and having fun on that piano. So I want to take a really boring exercise and show you how it can become more interesting, how we can get way more out of it, how we can get more creative, more interesting with it, and also show you how you can use it for your hand independence as well. So it's got all of that rolled into one. The exercise itself is, of course, this one right here. It's the very first exercise we'll learn. And yes, as you can imagine, it can get pretty dull pretty quick. It's just this never-ending cycle. It repeats itself over and over again. So anyway, we're going to spice that up. But first of all, it is imperative that you are at least fairly comfortable with this exercise. So in all seriousness, this exercise right here, we want to try and make sure the notes are nice and even, okay? So none of this. Okay, none of that. And also, let's make sure that we don't blend these notes together. Those are the two most common mistakes I see with every single beginner when they're first doing this. Now, this video is not for beginners. That will soon become apparent. I'm going to throw some really cool stuff at you, and I'm going to not apologize for it in the slightest. I want you to take it away and just mine it, dig it, and just see how far you can go with it. So, yeah. Try and make sure you're kind of okay with that exercise. So that's fingers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over C, D, E, F, G, and we're just going up and down those notes nice and even. Now, to make it more interesting, we are going to bring in the left hand. Okay, and I'm going to show you 4 positions, and then we're going to do some really cool little rhythmic tricks with those 4 positions. So the 4 positions are power chords again. And we're going to use chords 1, which is C power chord, C, G. Chords 4, which is the F power chord, which is F and C. Chord 6, which is the A and the E. Chord 5, which is the G and the D, okay? So that's 1, 4, 5, and 6 chords, okay? And that's going to be really important for you to know when we come to the end of this video and I just completely overwhelm you with lots and lots of crap that I'm going to throw at you. So, we've got here, 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 and here, okay? So that's 1, 5, 6, and 4. Now, when we have a look at this exercise here, we can split this up into a grid, a rhythmic grid, okay? And so if I count out loud, we get this, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, okay? So that would be what we call a bar. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or 1, 2, 3, 4. And what you're going to do now is, in flow and spontaneously, you're going to choose any of those 4 chord positions and put them underneath any of those numbers in that grid. Now, what are you talking about, Joseph? That makes no sense. Let me explain. This is our exercise. I'll count out loud, and then I'll show you what I mean with that left hand. So this is what it would sound like without any of the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, just never ending, monotonous. But left hand, 1 and 2 and 3. Pick a number anywhere. Pick a chord and pick any single position. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. So you see how I'm using any of those 4 positions and putting them underneath any one of those rhythmic divisions. Now, I'll break that down a bit in a second, but when you speed that up, you can see how this could actually sound pretty cool. I mean, it's not a piece of music. It's not like a riff that you'd be proud of coming up with or anything, but it just adds a bit of flavor of fun bit of flavour of that, again, that spontaneity that we want to bring into our practice here. So if I speed that up and I just play it with a bit more oomph, you know. So you can see how it can actually sound pretty good when you speed it up and you get used to it. But I would suggest before you jump into this, you need to think about how you would approach this in stages that's just about manageable for you. So if I was going to break this down, I would say, right, okay, the first stage is getting used to that right hand, making sure that I'm comfortable with that before I even thought about bringing in the left hand. But then when I did bring in the left hand, maybe I just bring in on the one. And I'm happy with that. Maybe I choose any of the chords at random, but only on the one. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Just get used to that. Even just 2 chords, you know? Just got 2 chords. And then maybe bring in a third. Just on the 1, yeah? And then maybe on the 1 and the 3. So it'll be like 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2. And hopefully you can now see where the hand independence is creeping in. Now I might choose one of the offbeat rhythms. So I might choose 1 and the and of 3. 1, 2, and 3. I'll slow this down. Okay, so I'm just going a bit fast now. So 1, 2, and 3, and 4. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and 3. And... So you see how we're locking ourselves into patterns to start with. Patterns that we can learn and get used to before we jump in and we go all spontaneous and flowy and, you know, all esoteric and all that stuff. So again, stages, stages, stages. Get used to each stage before you move on to the next. So that's the exercise. Now, and I am totally not going to apologize for this, I am going to throw loads of stuff at you, okay? And that's the idea. I want you to do your own research with it, do your own digging, take it away, and see if you can sort of dissect what I'm showing you here. So we're going to bring in a nice posh musical word called modulation. What does modulation mean? It just means we're going to move between keys, okay? So this is now going to become an exercise that's going to be fantastic for your right hand because it's going to be in all sorts of different positions, including the black keys. It's going to be fantastic for, again, your rhythm. It's going to be fantastic for your hand independence, but also getting used to a few different keys at the same time. So we have the key of C major. Hopefully you've got a little bit comfortable with this one, fairly familiar. You can do this exercise even if it's really slow, but you can do it spontaneously in flow. Now we're going to take the same exercise, the same principle, and we're going to shove it up from C to E flat. Now, why? I find, and you know, it just works, we can move up 3 semitones from the C, 1, 2, 3, or 3 semitones in general, and that key shift just sounds really uplifting. It sounds really, really nice. So take a listen to this. So you can see how we're changing those keys and that key switch just sounds really nice. It sounds really, really epic. So this is why I told you at the beginning, chords 1, 4, 5, and 6. You need to know what those chords are. 1, 4, 5, and 6 in the key of E flat major. I will briefly show you them, but if you need more depth on them, go do your own research. We've got E flat, we've got A flat, we've got B flat, and C. All those power chords, okay? In the right hand, okay, we've got E flat, F, G, A flat, and B flat. Just the first 5 notes of the E flat major scale. And it is tough. You know, if you're not used to this, you've got your fingers in different positions here. This fourth finger is having to be urged forward a little bit. You've got this third finger in between these two black keys here, and it's just a completely foreign environment if you've never done this before. So if you come and do this E flat and you find like, oh no, I can't do this anymore, then don't get disheartened. It is tough because it's different, and that's the point of this exercise, okay? So, that is E flat. Now, we're going to go up 3 semitones from E flat to 1, 2, 3, F sharp or G flat. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to do the first 5 notes of the F sharp major scale. That's F sharp, G sharp, A sharp, B and C sharp. Notice how our fingers are again laid in a different position, an odd position. And so this breathes new life into this right hand exercise as well. 1, 4, 5 and 6 chords in the key of F sharp. 1, so that's F sharp. That's B, C sharp, and D sharp. So I'm giving you all the notes here that you need, but I fully understand that I am chucking a lot at you here. You need to spend hours dissecting what I'm doing. So that is 3 keys. Our very last key, okay, is A. So we go up 3 semitones from the F sharp, 1, 2, 3, to the A, exactly the same thing again. Okay, A, B, C sharp, D, E, A, D, E, and F sharp, like that. And now what you can do is you can piece all that together, and you'll be very pleased to know that when you go from C, up 3 semitones to E flat, up 3 semitones to F sharp, up 3 semitones then to A, you go up 3 semitones back to C. So that whole thing becomes a loop that never ends, this monotonous thing that just keeps going and going and going and going and going. So when you get used to this, you can just sit at that piano and just get into a flow with it, get spontaneous with it, and play this for forever. Or at least as long as you want before you need to go to the toilet. Or whatever, have some food. So, or drink coffee. So, I will now demonstrate all of that together, moving between all those 4 keys, so you can hear how that sounds, and then, oh, it's up to you, it's away you go. So, it should sound a bit like this. And it is going to make your brain melt. Seriously, and that's a good thing. We are overcoming challenges here. We are deep diving into something here for you to really grapple with and try and dissect, and you know, it'll feel very, very good if you can overcome this and you can do this exercise. Let me know in the comments below if you managed to do this. I would absolutely love to hear from you. It's probably one of the most ambitious things I've ever put out on my channel without going tremendously in depth with it, but I kind of wanted to just throw it at you, get you to go away, do your own thing at the piano, which is the whole point of these lockdown videos. So really hope you enjoyed that. I hope these lockdown videos have brought some lightness to this very strange situation we're in. Do check out my best adult piano practice plan in the cards above or the information box down below. It's absolutely fantastic, totally free. You can take any of these exercises that I show you in this video, and indeed any of my other videos, and you can put them into a proper, structured piano practice routine so you know you're getting the most out of them. Thanks ever so much for watching, guys. I have now got loads and loads of plans for extra videos, for more videos on this channel, so do make sure you smash that red subscribe button down below. Make sure you like this video if you liked it, and of course I will see you in the next video. If of course this video hasn't destroyed you. But as I said, just give it a go. Nice and steady, step by step. Thanks guys, see you soon.